all, my name is Eric, this is Yap Sessions, and today I'll be talking about the art of storytelling. If you want to become a filmmaker, photographer, or anything dealing with being a creative, you should know that storytelling plays a very important part. As we know, no one is going to watch your films or look at your photos if it doesn't have a good story. So let's break it down. When trying to flesh out a story, let's think of the 3 C's: concept, characters, and conflict. So of course, let's start out with concept. There's so many questions you should ask yourselves when trying to create and come up with the concept of your film or photo series. Some of the questions that you can ask is, why am I filming this for? What is the general idea behind, or what am I trying to convey from this film or a certain scene that I have in that project? The concept is all about figuring out what you want in your project and what you want out of your project. You cannot tell a story without knowing your concept. Me personally, how I do this is I either write in my notes app on my phone or I journal and write and figure out what I want to feel from this project and what I want my audience or my viewers to feel from the project also. Believe it or not, a lot of my concepts come from real life experiences. A lot of these concepts are reshaped and then turned into stories and films that you guys usually see on my YouTube and Instagram. My main advice is to use real life experiences and turn them into concepts for films or photo series that you think of. Rapper Andre 3000 once said, "Every story that I've ever told is either triggered by something that I've been through or something that someone I know has experienced. A lot of the times it's based on something real." So don't take my advice, take Andre 3000's advice and find your concept through something real, something that you've been through, some real life experiences, or anything that you feel like your viewers can convey or feel from. Now let's tackle characters. I think characters are tough because it's hard to come up with an idea of a person and then get another person to play a whole nother person who's not that person. Yeah, I know, it seems pretty complex. But a story is as good as its characters. In my films, I want the viewer to empathize or feel certain emotions from the people that's on the screen. When trying to come up with characters, remember that they are your human connection to a viewer. They are your voice in your film. With that, you need to know your audience and understand that your characters can either make or break your film. To make your film, you simply have to show the characters to your audience. For instance, if you want your main character to be someone who has persevered through a lot of things, you should probably show that to the viewer, so the viewer can know how to empathize with them and to show that they've been through a lot of things. You can do this through dialogue, scenes, foreshadowing. All this can come from the viewer just seeing that your character has been through something and they can understand or empathize with them. You don't want a main character that the audience hates. You want one that the audience believes in or can understand. This all goes back from knowing your target audience and knowing what you want them to feel from your characters. How I usually do this is I write out my characters, I list their qualities, including the good and the bad, and then I figure out what I want from them and how I want them to appear to my audience. Finally, let's tackle conflict. If you think about it, what is a story without it? I think every story needs a conflict, a problem, a climax, a deadline. Every story needs one. The conflict is important because it drives your story and it makes your audience look forward to something inside of the story. Believe it or not, the conflict doesn't even have to be negative. It can be something positive or a new opportunity towards the characters. Conflict also makes characters more complex, while the viewer has to figure them out and make sure and make something that's exciting for them to watch. Without conflicts, the story doesn't exist. It's merely just another boring story that nobody wants to watch. Great conflicts exist everywhere as they add humanity to our characters. To conclude, storytelling in film or photography is a way of communicating to your audience. My best advice to you is to create stories based on real life. It's the most purest form of entertainment. Keep the 3 C's in mind and also find your audience while also creating a story that you yourself would want to watch. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another episode or section of Yap Sessions, the art of storytelling. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube. Follow me everywhere on any social platforms. Keep liking and subscribing. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go create. Peace.